Coaches have helped select the nation's top 44 high school seniors. Now it's time for tomorrow's college stars to show us why they're the best in the 9th annual Under Armour All-America Lacrosse Classic. Tonight we get a peek into the lacrosse window of tomorrow. Hi everybody and welcome to Johnny Unitas Stadium on the campus of Towson University. Scott Garceau along with former North Carolina All-American Stephen McElduff. First, what does it mean to these 44 to be selected as an Under Armour All-American, Stephen?
Well, you look how hard you play and how many practices over 4 years in high school. You have a global brand like Under Armour, puts a prestigious game like this together. It really is a compliment to end your high school career before you head off to Division I and try to excel at the next level.
All 44 of these players are impact players or they wouldn't be here tonight, but you've highlighted some special players. Let's take a look at them.
Absolutely. Craig Burge from upstate New York, just a complete athlete who heads down to the nation's capital at Georgetown. The Long Island Player of the Year out of Massapequa, New York. Look for exciting things from him. Just a great physical athlete, ability to score and distribute. He's going to be a nice addition at Georgetown. His counterpart is going to be Adam Demillo. Talking to college coaches over the past 4 or 5 weeks, they think this kid can have an immediate impact at the Division I level. And I know Coach Tillman's dying for middies who can both break down defense and score, but also distribute to the attack players.
He'll be a Terp. Well, the South has won the last 3 games to even the series at 4. Let's take a look at their impact players.
Absolutely. For them, it starts with Charlie Horning on the attack side. You can see a little bit smaller, only 5'9", but from Maryland, has a great pedigree of lacrosse and will do an incredible job at the next level at Villanova. Steal for them to come up with a player of his caliber, go up there and be able to contribute right away. The other name is Shaq Stanwix. I feel like we've heard the Stanwix name forever. It's synonymous with lacrosse, and Shaq has done nothing but to elevate that name again. He'll be at Johns Hopkins next year, looking to add another title if he can get the Under Armour one tonight.
And joining his brother at Johns Hopkins. Booker Corrigan will be roaming the sidelines tonight. He's with a couple of Under Armour All-Americans. Booker?
Joined here by Justin Anderson from Las Vegas, Nevada, as well as Joel Tinney from Ontario, Canada. Justin, tell us a little bit about the send-off. You have 11 brothers and sisters. How exciting was it when you got the call?
It was one of the greatest experiences just because having all that support with my family, it's pretty unbelievable. I have 5 older brothers and 6 younger adopted siblings, and so it's a very happy home with some crazy times, but I love them.
And Joel Tinney from Culver Academy. Joel, undefeated season this year. Had to be some big moments for Culver.
I'd say the biggest moment for us this year was definitely going undefeated on our spring break trip. Being from the Midwest, we don't always get the best of the best, but being able to go out there and kind of establish ourselves and prove ourselves as one of the country's top teams was definitely the highlight of our year.
Thanks, Scott. Back up to you.
Well, the Under Armour All-Americans are ready to show us their stuff. We're back with the face-off next.
ESPN's coverage of the 2014 Under Armour All-American Lacrosse Game is brought to you by Under Armour.
You are watching the Under Armour All-America Lacrosse Game, all part of the ESPNU summer of next. We are just about set to go. Beautiful day here in the Baltimore area. We're on the campus of Towson University. Sunshine and temperatures in the mid-80s. We had a brief shower earlier this afternoon, but we should be good to go. The South in the white jerseys and the North in the dark. Now, face-offs, I don't think we have any real specialists in this game, Stephen.
Which is funny because in the college game it's become such a dominant position, but today it's not so much on the face-offs, it's about the offensive end.
Yeah, and as they say in all-star games, sometimes defense is optional. It was last year. 28-24 was the final score in this game. That one kind of got off the tracks as far as the defense was concerned.
Yeah, that'd be a defensive player's nightmare.
South with the first possession of the game, and these players had yesterday to practice. They had a morning practice, a little media work at midday and a luncheon, and then they went back for an afternoon practice. So coaches Mike Chanenchuk, who's in charge of the North, and Ryan Boyle in charge of the South. There's the first shot of the game, and the South with possession. In goal for the South is Owen Malloy. Little clearing issue here. We got a flag down. We didn't have a penalty in the entire game last year.
Yeah, I think you jinxed them. You talked about how they didn't have any penalties last year. First possession, a shot, and then on the clearing effort, a penalty.
So they did practice a little extra man yesterday. I'm not sure why when we didn't have any penalties last year, but now we know why. Here you see Coach Ryan Boyle on the South side.
Yeah, South's going to go man up for 30 seconds for a hold here. So nice way to start your offensive possession for the game is on a man-up opportunity.
The numbers on these players, we'll get into them as the game goes on, but they're all stars, big scoring numbers, some just off-the-chart scoring numbers. And the first save of the game. Nice job there, Tommy Height with the save and the pull to the goal, but no goal. But the North maintains possession. No score, just underway. Good look in front, the shot and the score. Nice job by the North right there. John Sexton with the score. He's a three-time All-Eastern Mass pick and an All-League four-time pick, 5'10", 190-pounder from Sudbury, Mass.
A nice way to start the game. You watch here, if you watch him up top, he actually fakes out the South defender there and actually comes back in. A defensive player at heart myself, it's nice to see a defender score the first goal of an all-star game, but just a well-educated play. Coach Corrigan out at Notre Dame is going to love having him run transition next year.
And I guess much tougher to play defense and communicate and do all the things you have to do than play offense, right?
It is. You look at defensively, you spend all year getting into certain formations, knowing where your next slide or counterpart's going to be. In games like this, you mentioned it, they had 2 short abbreviated practices. You just hope everyone's in the right spot.
Sam Bonafini's pass sailed a little high there, so South with possession. North on top, 1-0, just underway. Now the scores of this game, 2011, 11-9 game. 2012 was a 12-11 game. And then last year, goals raining down, 28-24. The South wins. They've now won 3 straight. South with possession right here. Tough angle there and an easy save. Tyler Blaisdell in goal for the North, and Owen Malloy between the pipes down on the south end.
One thing you expect to see you get to this caliber, what separates these guys from the rest of the high school players in the country is really kind of that next skill level, that next speed. You won't see a ton of turnovers. You're going to see just the ball move that much quicker. The speed of play should increase, and these guys will learn in 4 to 6 weeks when they head to their respective colleges. It's going to move even quicker, and they're going to be shell-shocked.
Traffic in the middle, and a nice reaction save. So Malloy with the save. South trying to clear. North on top, 1-0. Talk about the extra gear. The confidence, too. All these guys all these guys have had a lot of success in their high school careers. South backs it off. Shaq Stanwix, Mickey Wynn, a 1-2 combination that Coach Ryan Boyle thinks can click for the South. This is Joe Lang. He's headed to Harvard. Back up on top it comes.
Any combination that starts with Stanwix in the mix, it generally is going to produce some points at some point during our game.
Mickey Wynn, St. Paul's school here in the area, 72 goals, 20 assists for him. Stanwix, 118 points this year. That set a school record. Boys Latin, the #1 team in the nation, the final polls. Pretty patient here for an all-star game, this possession, right? You generally don't see a lot of assists. The extra pass there and then turned over. So defense closed in. Good job defensively.
Yeah, so far the defensive effort for the North has actually been the part dominating this game. They played well defensively and they actually had the 1 goal so far.
Nice pass there as Vana Feeny got it inside. North trying to add to a 1-0 lead here in the Under Armour All-America lacrosse game. And another save for Malloy. Not too challenged with that one. Owen Malloy, the goalie for the South, he'll be playing his college lacrosse at Notre Dame. 4 goal against average this year, 4.0, 200 saves, and by the way, he scored a goal too. I want those highlights. Both of these goalies have scored goals in their season.
Yeah, those are the type of guys you like to play in front of. You get a stop, and then they're actually beating you down the field for a clear.
9:20 to play, first quarter in the Under Armour All-America game. Tough defense there, forces ball out, but running after it was Joe Reed. This is Joe Lang, Californian. Good look, but couldn't quite sneak it through there. He's trying to get it to Mickey Wayne, who was parked on the crease. You got to be proud of that defense.
Yeah, so far, great defense. Sticks her in the lanes. Riley, a kid out of Minnesota, just showed the South, hey, welcome to Minnesota lacrosse.
Yeah.
Nice body check to start. Yeah, just overall, just really impressive team defense.
Oh, and a nice pass right in front, but match stick for stick, and the save from Tyler Blaisdell. Blaisdell heading to Princeton. Behind the back wraparound there. Joe Tinney.
Yeah, I think in Tinney's normal game day operations next year, he'll probably shoot that one lefty and overhand, but in the Under Armour All-American game, get a little extra points for creativity, right?
Put a little mustard on it. Again, good defense. Series tied at 4-all, but the South, with possession right now, they've won the last 3 of these All-Star games. "22-man rosters, Stephen. How about conditioning in a game like this? Young legs, I mean, are they not a problem?
Yeah, I think there's young legs. The South got hit with the injury bug a little bit, so I think they're down to 20 players.
They've got 20.
You know, I don't care how young you are. If you're playing in 85-degree weather, a little bit of humidity you mentioned on turf, you know, it definitely is going to tire them down.
And against a higher caliber of opponent than you've probably played against, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you see how quickly these teams clear the ball. It's literally 1-2 passes, and they're already getting another shot. So
Tanner Peck with that shot. This is Horning. And the turnover. Here comes the North. They're on top 1-0. Just kind of a little feeling out process here. Not much scoring in the early going. Had nearly 50 goals in this game a year ago.
They're trying to reserve your voice for the second half, Scott. That's the biggest thing.
Saving, right? I think we had about 30-some goals in the second half last year. I don't know if I can handle that. Battle for the ground ball.
That's straight. That's straight. Forward. Let's go, Wheel.
North up with it. Connor Kelly won the ground ball. And North will retain possession. 6:23 to play in the first quarter. We're at Towson University, Johnny Unitas Stadium.
Get out of the box. Get out of the box.
Great facility. We'll talk about the Under Armour All-America game is more than just a game, and we'll get into some of the other festivities that have gone on here the last couple of days. On the wing, no defense there, but the shot off the mark.
Yeah, Under Armour's done an incredible job really building this into a full experience for the lacrosse player and the fan. So pretty incredible to see pulling in here today what they've been able to put together, and it really does give a whole lacrosse family the ability to come spend the day.
Pretty nice save there. Both coaches expect to give, each team has two goalies. We'll play them a half each. And so far, on both ends, they kept the gate closed. Good defense. It's a 1-0 North lead, South with possession.
Yeah, sometimes as a goalie, these all-star games can almost be like, getting tied between the pipes and just seeing shots all day. But so far, they've actually probably been the two all-stars standing out. Yep. Both of them with multiple saves and great clears.
Keegan O'Connor with that last shot, but the save, and here comes the North. Adam Demillo runs on for the North. Good defensive position there. Now they get a step. The left-hand shot just a little wide.
Great individual move by Demillo. You can see why people are excited about him. He misses the shot there, but the initial dodge gets stopped, the quick re-dodge, and he's able to slide right past the defender for a good opportunity.
Let's go down to the sidelines and Booker Corrigan. Booker.
Hey, joined by Peter Welch out of Del Barton. Peter, a lot of defense in today's game. How is that happening?
I think both offenses are really doing a great job, and I think we just need to bear down on D to get a quick stop. Yeah.
And some goalies stepping up, making some saves.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, keep your wind about you. Good luck the rest of the game.
All right, thanks a lot.
Back to you, Scott.
Yeah, they'll be working the water bucket and Gatorade buckets today. Sunshine and temperatures in the mid to high 80s here. South trying to get on the board. They trail 1-0 early going, and there it is. Shot and the score. Little low to high action. Justin Anderson. Nothing new for him, right? He scored a couple of goals.
Yeah, one thing you should know with Justin Anderson is he can put the ball in the back of the net. Even though he's coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada, headed to my alma mater, North Carolina. So selfishly, I like to see him scoring goals here.
Those heels, right? Yeah.
But I don't care where you play in the country at this point, the way the sport's grown. If you can score goals and the amount that he did in high school, you were going to be successful.
This is this season alone, 130 goals, 67 assists, and 193 ground balls for Justin Anderson. Out of Las Vegas. Heard from him earlier. He's got 5 older brothers, 6 adopted sisters. He can play a full game in the backyard, right? There's a shot and a score. So the North comes right back and answers. And it's a 2-1 North lead. That didn't take long.
Yeah, they weren't happy about falling behind, and just a great lefty dodge and just pings the far up and away corner. Great dodge, great shot. Not much you can do there.
Cerrone with the goal, and we go back to the X here to face it off. John Cerrone headed to Villanova. He'll be a Wildcat out of Huntington, New York. So many of these players, multiple sports. He was a quarterback, captain on his football team, an all-league football player at Chaminade High School. North pressing it again. Defense pretty physical in the early going. Not some token defense. These defenders are getting after it. Here comes the South. They're down a goal, 2-1. Good idea, the extra pass, but they couldn't handle it. And the North coming back to us. Joel Tinney on the move. Left-hander shot and a score. So Tinney spins away from the defender, fires with the left hand, and the North on top 3-1. Tinney, a Canadian out of Innerkip, Ontario.
Yeah, you saw him in the opening with Booker, but just see right here, he's a dominant left-hander, rolls back and inside. That's kind of where defensively you don't have that strategy. You're not prepared to keep him down the side in an all-star game, but way to recognize for Tinney, roll back. You have the wide open lane and a great finish.
Just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Pace picking up a little after defense had the early advantage. Save on the shot down low. Schreiner in goal out of Campbellsville, Pennsylvania. 6 foot, 180 pounder who will be playing his college lacrosse at Penn State. Got a step and a shot and a score. Time for these guys usually results in something in the back of the net, right?
Yeah, the goalies would prefer to have just dodging consistently and moving to quick passes, but just a great job, way to split to the inside, and again, finishing.
Vallis with the goal, and it's a 3-2 game.
Back-to-back goals by future Blue Jays, who will play just down the street at Johns Hopkins, between Tinney and then Vallis. Coach Petramala's out.
Yeah, he's loving that.
He's out with the world team out in Colorado this week, but definitely probably keeping an eye on his future All-Americans.
Battle for the ground ball. A lot of digging going on down there. And the South up with it for a moment. Let's go down to Booker, who's working the sidelines for us today. Booker?
Hey, I'm joined by Sean Cerrone. He's headed to Villanova. Sean, early recruiting's a big buzzword. How comfortable was it for you?
Well, sophomore year is when I committed, and I knew that I wanted to go to Villanova then and there, and figured why not wait, verbally committed, so ended up working out for me.
And it's working out great. Congratulations on the goal. It's a big step.
Thank you.
Scott, back up to you.
Oh, one off the pipe. South nearly tied it up. Here comes the North. It's Matt Neufeld. Pass in front and the score. Nice job. Neufeld made the play, and the North finishes, and they're on top 4-2.
You see here just a great athletic effort here. Just carries it down, and see how he keeps his eyes up the whole time. Right there. Boom, Patrick McCormick just sitting on the doorstep. The kid out of Hicksville, New York, just welcomes a pass like that. I mean, Scott, even you could stand down there and probably score that one.
Maybe. I'd have to catch it first, right? Yeah, pretty goal. Defense turns into offense, right? Back to the X of the face-off win for the South. Chad Otterman, he's a hockey player. He's going to Cornell to play not lacrosse but hockey. Uh-oh, North 3-on-0. Oh, off the crossbar. Had the layup but got a little too fancy, right? Shot down low. It looked like that hit the pipe. No, detached. It's got to make a defender feel good, right? When you see ball, cross, everything flying out.
Yeah, you just hope it's not being done to you.
Ryan Keenan. Is that Keenan? Check it, Vana Feeny. Yeah. Sam Bonafide with the up, down, and in move.
And you mentioned earlier, but this all started off with the turnovers, the great ride by the North, and then Bonafide just finds himself in the right spot. Once again, look at that great pass, splits 3 defenders, fake high, shoot, or fake low, and then shoot high, excuse me, but great finish on the doorstep again.
Well, they've had a couple of 2-on-1, 3-on-1 breakaways. North wins the faceoff. Final seconds, just over 20 seconds to play first quarter. North leading the South 5-2. South has won the last 3 Under Armour All-America games. North being heard from here in the first quarter. Demillo. Pretty good defense on him. Jake Seau. And that's going to do the first quarter. So a lot of defense early on, Stephen, and then the scorers started scoring, right? We played one in Towson. North leads the South 5-2 in the Under Armour All-America game. This is the Under Armour All-America lacrosse game. We've played a quarter at Towson. Some of the first quarter numbers.
Yeah, it's not surprising to see the North, who leads 5-2, actually completely outnumbering the South in shots 19-9. But then the surprising part is the South, with Malloy, 7 saves. So on 19 shots, 7 saves with 5 goals against. A pretty good job by both goalies in the first quarter, but the North has definitely dominated time, possession, and quality shots.
South with the first possession. Owen Malloy and Tyler Blaisdell, the 2 goalies. That one just wide of the mark. We haven't said much about Shaq Stanwix. I'm sure he'll get things going.
Yeah, they honestly haven't had possession of the ball all that much to get it to him.
One off the pipe there, out of play.
McBride, who's headed south to North Carolina as well. And the midfielders are righty rip right off the crossbar there. Goalie's best friend.
McBride, a 2-way midi to play end-to-end.
You mentioned that earlier, how many of these guys are multi-sport athletes, which is great to hear, actually, because you see a lot of kids nowadays who are going to be a single sport. They focus on lacrosse, they focus on football or soccer. College coaches actually like to still see you play multiple sports. You mentioned Cerrone, who's a quarterback, right? He gets field vision from playing football, or we mentioned Otterman playing hockey. Yeah. You learn different sports, different skill sets. So it's important to play different sports as an athlete.
North shot off the mark. Temperature game time was 83 degrees. Beautiful afternoon here in the Baltimore area. A lot going on in this area. The Orioles and Yankees in town. The extra pass, nice job. Brought it back to the weak side, and the North ripped it home. Connor Fields with the goal.
Great finish by Fields. You see he finds himself on the open side, just sets up, nice skip pass, and then low to high, underhand, far and away, top corner. Great finish. Not much more he can do here.
Good luck, Kurt.
13:32 to play second quarter. The North has increased their lead to 6-2.
Scotty Marr, the coach up at Albany, he's got to love having a guy like Fields come in as the departure of the Thompson brothers, who
you lose a little firepower there, right?
Put up over 100 points each last year in college lacrosse.
What a story they were.
So Fields has some big shoes to fill, but shots like that will certainly help.
Let's see what the South can get going on the attack end. Shot on goal and a save, good outlet pass, and here comes the North.
So far, all the South's offensive possessions have really started, from the midfield. And you mentioned Stanwix, Winnie being down on the attack end. You have two obviously incredible athletes, but the South just playing two men down as well. They should probably get the ball to the attack, burn a little bit of time, get the attack comfortable with the ball, and start dodging from there versus the midfield.
Tinney, you just took that shot with a right-hander this time. A lot of left-hand shooters here. 5 of the 6 attackmen, I think it was on the north side, were left-handers.
Yeah, those guys used to be a novelty where coaches would go hunt them out to find that great lefty to park there and just score. Now that you see so many kids that are being brought up as either both hands equally as strong or a natural lefty.
North with possession up 4, and defense didn't get to Tinney, and he made him pay. His second goal of the game.
Tinney again just keeps the ball right. His left hand here just steps in. No one from the South defense picks him up. He's only about 12 yards out here. Goalie's worst nightmare. A guy cranking from less than 10 yards, 12 yards out. Great finish again, low to high. Nice finish by Tinney.
And you know from your college days, the Canadians don't miss too often, right? When you give them that kind of space,
they do not. They're so used to playing on the smaller goals that when you give them a 6x6 out here, they're normally going to finish.
Joel Tinney, Interkep, Ontario, played for Culver Military Academy. They went 23-0 this year. 7-2, North trying to get another one, and they do. Too easy.
Yeah, if Mike Chanachek doesn't work out in the MLL, he might want to go into coaching after this first half performance. Just great job by the North again. They're dominating the possessions off of the face-off. I know Ryan Boyle talked to you from the South side. They didn't have a clear face-off guy, the possessions, but just great job coming down. Dodges straight down the hash mark and a lefty finish.
North has extended the lead to 8-2. Early second quarter here at Johnny Unitas Stadium. We're on the campus of Towson University. Scott Garceau and Stephen McElduff with you. You must cringe as a defender watching all-star games where goals come awful cheap. There's another one. Connor Fields turns the corner and scores with the left hand.
And Coach Boyle's going to burn his first time out here, give his defense maybe a little bit of breather. But again, Connor Fields, you mentioned him earlier. Coach Marr's going to need about 98 of those same plays from him next year to try to make up some of that offense. Great individual dodge from behind. Lefty straight around, goes in to finish, puts the North up 9-2.
Only on ESPNU. Let's go down to Booker with a guy who scored a couple of goals in this game.
I got Joel Tinney here on the sidelines. Joel, we were here about an hour ago, and you had no goals. Now you have 2. Shot selection is of paramount importance in these games. How'd you muster up the courage to take those 2?
We started out in the first quarter taking a lot of low shots, and the goalie seemed to be stopping them, so we started mixing it up and going high, and we're starting to find the back of the net this last couple quarters.
And you got so many stars on the field. How do you say, okay, this is my time to shine?
Just work it around, look for a good time, the good matchups. Well, every pull out here is great, so we want to stay away from the pulls and keep the short sticks on the field.
And you had a nifty little roll coming out of that first one, and next one you just stung the corner. Great job. Back up to you, Scott.
Thanks, Booker. 9-2, North on top. The 9th Under Armour All-America game. North and South have both won 4 in this series. North having their way here in the first half, but the South with their 3rd goal of the game right there. Justin Anderson's got his 2nd.
Yeah, the usual suspect here, Justin Anderson, number 2, out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Just a great dodge. Sees the opportunity straight down the right-hand side, keeps it in a strong right. See right here, just focuses in, overhand, bouncer. Great shot by Anderson. Great, the South needed that. They were just they were on their heels there. Great play for him, 2nd goal.
Talk about multiple sports. Plays soccer, basketball, and football besides lacrosse. 2-time Nevada state champ Justin Anderson, 130 goals in his season this year. And by the way, when he wasn't scoring goals, 193 ground balls.
I wonder if he played literally every second of every game and then maybe some overtimes by himself to get that many ground balls.
Wow. North in possession. They're up 6, 9-3, 10-20 to play here in the first half. Ground ball, and the North up with it. So the South gets a possession. Try to whittle down the lead here. You get it down to 3-4 at the half in an all-star game, the way goals are scored. You're right there, right?
Absolutely. Fields, number 12 for the North, got a little comfortable there. Two goals right at the end of the first quarter, and then finds himself wide open on the doorstep, tries to go around the world right there. Nice save by the South.
There are the commitments, Stephen. The rich get richer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the one part to look at here, right? Big Ten lacrosse starts next year. Johns Hopkins and Maryland, 9 Under Armour All-American recruits will go into the first year of the Big Ten in lacrosse. Duke, the rich keep getting richer.
Oh,
so.
what a goal there. Wow. Went through the entire defense, spinning and scoring, and Justin Anderson has a hat trick. He wouldn't be denied that time.
Coach Bresci's sitting down in Chapel Hill right now, just salivating at this kid's nose for the goal. He just cannot be stopped. So far, all 3 possessions he's created himself, and he continues to finish. Great move.
How many defenders did he beat? About 5 there?
And the Tar Heels will welcome that after the past couple years getting knocked out in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament. And they continue to look for that one more guy that can help finish. And Anderson, if he has plays like that, he's going to make an immediate impact for Chapel Hill in the ACC.
Pretty special player, isn't he, Booker?
Scott, I got to tell you, Stephen is a UNC alum, but it's a 2-year mission that Justin Anderson is taking before he goes down to Chapel Hill to play for Coach Bresci. So it's going to be a couple years before he dons the Carolina blue.
Okay, all right.
He's headed down to Chile.
Doing some good things in the world. Little trail check there, South up with it. Here they come, South with a little momentum now. And a shot and a score. So they've cut the lead to 4. They were down 9-2 just a few minutes ago. But 3 straight goals for the South, and it's now a 9-5 game.
Great possession here, just the clear. 16, Joe Reed just continues to take it. No one from the defensive side picks him up. 12 yards out, right-handed finish. Great play for the South to continue to climb back into this game.
Joe Reed, a Cali guy. I think we've got 3 or 4 California players in this game. He's from Petaluma. Another 3-time MVP of his team, but also a basketball player, multiple sports. North with a big edge, and 12-4 in face-off, Stephen. That's give them 8 extra possessions in a game like this. That's a difference.
Yeah, you can see how their offense too. They've had the ball so many times on possession that they're continuing to get just so comfortable. Fields just tries to sneak that one through. Unfortunately, the shot doesn't go in, but what a great feed by Fields.
Tenney up top, he's got a couple of goals. Ooh, through some heavy traffic right there. Craig Burge. Right-hander, low to high, and well placed, and a goal for Sam Vana Feeny.
Number 7, Vana Feeny, similar to earlier in the game, just puts himself in the right position to find the ball. Again, underhand, low to high, right-handed rip. Great shot by Vana Feeny, number 7. There's certain guys that can dodge and score. Vana Feeny so far has been a guy who just finds himself in the right position to finish.
There's a little trivia fact about Sam Vana Feeny. I'm not sure how he did this because there's a lot of places in the world. He knows every flag in the world. You show him a flag, he'll tell you, I got the Maryland flag and the United States flag down. After that, I'm in trouble. But he can give you every flag in the world. And Sam Vana Feeny, another multiple sport guy, runs the 100-meter hurdles. He's a two-time Under Armour underclass elite tournament player as well. A lot of these guys, it's not their first trip here for the Under Armour Classic because they've played in the underclass games in the past.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier Under Armour continues to get involved at each level of the sport.
And the South answers back. So the South has scored 3 of the last 4 goals, only the Vana Feeny goal in there, as they creep back within 10-6.
Yeah, Mikey Wynn just from behind, individual effort, gets above goal line, keeps in his right hand and finishes. We mentioned earlier, but just a quick start off the end line. Good job finishing.
Wynn scored 72 goals this year for St. Paul's, had 20 assists, 60 ground balls. He's taken his game to Notre Dame. Mikey Wynn from Sykesville here in the area. South trying to get a face-off win. It's been a tough go at the X for him. And the North comes up with the ground ball. Fields won the ground ball. Left-hander sails wide of the mark.
Yeah, the South's even putting long sticks up at the face-off X just to try to prevent the fast break, but they're not having the ability to pick up the ground balls that quickly either.
Look out, young fella. Shot sailed wide out of play. Connor Fields, little guy standing over on the track, almost ended his day.
He gave himself a little bit of a buzz cut over there, a free haircut.
So 50 shots already, and we've got 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. Is that the way it was when you were at Carolina? 50 shots with 7 minutes to play in the second quarter? Or was that about a game's worth?
I hope our offense was putting up that many, but from a defensive side, I hope we didn't see that many.
Right, South with a chance to cut it to 3. Unless one of the 44 is yours out there, most of the casual fans cheering for a close game, right?
Exactly.
Little drama in the end. And we've had several close games in the Under Armour All-America game. South could cut it to 3. Oh, nice job.
You mentioned the Thompson brothers earlier and their cousin who played earlier this year. I remember talking to a good friend of mine who played with me in high school as the assistant at UMBC, Steve Senembrino, and he was just saying that those guys were good for 40 or 50 shots a game between the 3 of them. As a defensive coordinator, that's a nightmare to put up with.
Absolutely. And the North answers. Got to step on the defense and connected with the left hand.
Every time you think the South's getting back into it, the North continues to, their shooting ability right now and efficiency has just been tremendous. Every shot is on the run, or if they are in front of the goal, they're just dropping it right in. Adam Demillo, we mentioned in the open, great athlete from upstate New York, and just does a nice job keeping his left hand and finishes.
South runs on a player as they wait to face off here with 6:11 left in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we've got a terrific look at Jake Seau, son of NFL great Junior Seau, who's a member of the South team. Terrific lacrosse player who's headed to Duke. Shot and the score, pulled to the goal, and a little backhand special. You got to like that, Stephen.
Yeah, that's so far the goal of the day. This is where you start to see the difference in athletes from the high school level. The ability to hold on to the ball there. Connor Keating, a defenseman out of Haverford, Pennsylvania, heading to UPenn next year. The ability to hold on and control the ball as a defensive player like that is incredible. And then also to have the mindset to finish. Sorry, Tyler Breen going to Virginia.
Four-goal lead for the North, 11-7. South was down, what was it, 9-2, I believe. Yeah, this kind of crept back into this thing. We'll see some new faces in the second half. Obviously, both goalies will be swapped. Tough for the coaches trying to do the best they can. Ryan Boyle and Mike Chanichuk trying to give everybody time and some form of team. Rebound, goal, and a shot and a score. Stick with it, right? If they stop you the first time, keep coming.
Yeah, that's probably how Anderson picked up all those ground balls and points. He's got ground balls and goals. Vana Feeny again, though, he picks up the ground ball trying to match Anderson's ground ball count. See here, the rebound comes off.
Yeah.
Yep. Rebound comes off the goalie, and Vana Feeny in the right place at the right time to finish there. And just to correct, that last goal by the defense was Connor Keating for the South. We had marked Tyler Breen from the North. So just flip-flop colors, and we're in the right spot.
There you go. There you go. And as a defender, because that's where you played, when you're playing defense, shot on goal, you got to be alert that rebound could be out front. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You're taught at every age, turn around and check down. So you don't know where the ball is. You don't know if it's a rebound or the goalie has it. Your next step is to check down.
Here you see some of the Under Armour All-American lacrosse girls that'll be playing the second game here tonight following this one. Let's go down to the sidelines and Booker Corrigan. Booker.
Joined by Chad Otterman out of Del Barton High School. He's going to Cornell to play ice hockey. I spent some time with Coach Kerwick, the lacrosse coach there. What are the chances you play both?
Oh, you never know. I mean, we'll see how it goes freshman year, but if he gives me a chance, maybe I'll try and get out there and play with him. So it'll be fun. We'll see.
And the other aspect we're going to talk about tonight, you guys are a little shorthanded defensively. You only have 5 poles. It's tough getting an interview with you right now. Coach Boyle wants you out on the field.
Yeah, I know. It's short. I mean, we're running the poles, but, it's good. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I think you hold the statistic. You're the only guy to get a timeout called for so you can get an interview. So thanks so much. Keep hustling.
All right, thank you very much.
Back up to you, Scott.
All right, Booker, and good luck to Chad Otterman as he continues his hockey career and maybe lacrosse career at Cornell. Good hockey school.
Yeah, and even better education. No matter which sport he plays, he's going to get an Ivy League education, so pretty incredible.
Here are your Toward and Award finalists, and all of these played in the Under Armour All-American game, and some of the best.
Absolutely. Jordan Wolf took home the national championship, which I'm sure he'll take any day over the Tewaaraton, but it was a runaway, in my opinion, with the Thompsons. What they were able to do, to have 2 and 3 of them on the team that put up that many points, it was absolutely incredible. It was a runaway, but then you see Joe Fletcher for Loyola, continues to help put Loyola on the map, a national championship 3 years ago, and now they continue to have guys running for that finalist.
North wins another face-off and converts. Oh, we got a crease violation. No goal. That's the difference so far in the first half. North just continues to win face-offs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's almost becoming make it, take it right now for them.
Just over 5 minutes to play first half. Scott Garceau and Stephen McElduff, former North Carolina All-American, with you here at Johnny Unitas Stadium on the campus of Towson University. Beautiful day, 83 degrees at game time. South trying to answer. They trail 12-7. And a turnover.
Scott, you and I were talking before the game of how far this game has come. When I played in 2001, I guess it was, we literally got a penny and played, just a reversible, so we knew which team we were on. We played at UMass. It was an incredible experience. But to see what Under Armour and Corrigan Sports and everyone's done to build this up is remarkable and great for the sport.
And Joe Reed with a left-hander for the South. Cuts the lead to 4 at 12-8.
Joe Reed just takes the ball, great slide step right there. Defensively, I don't think they realized that they were dead center of the middle of the field, but he splits back left and a great finish, overhand shot and a finish.
Wait, what would be your guess as to how many of these players, and they're all going to top college schools in the nation, will have an impact that first year, that very first year they get into a major program?
Yeah, I think when you look at it now, the sport's gotten so deep. So one, you have to have the physical ability to make that jump to the next level, the speed, the ability to go through practice every single day, take the bumps and bruises, play a grueling schedule. Really, I think if 25% of this group out here, these 45 guys, plays next year and plays a lot of time, that's a lot. I'd say 50% probably gets sunburn during the game, but I think a lot of these guys are going to be sophomores when they really become that starting role. So
big difference in that first and second year, right? Yeah.
It is, and I think the college coaches are strategically recruiting that way too. They want to build guys who have seniors and then build their way out.
Connor Fields with the turn in the corner here with the left hand.
Fields, this is a guy, to your point, right? Albany graduates a ton of offensive power. He plays at this level. He has the ability to step in.
He's in a good spot, yeah.
So it's also, what is that position open at that school, or is it you going to have to wait that extra year?
We got our second penalty of the game coming up. North will retain possession. No penalties in the game at all last year, and this will be our second here in the first half.
Unfortunately, it's going to go against the South, who's down 13-8, and then they'll find themselves man down.
Just under 3.5 to play in the first half. Look, doorstep, ball down. Should have a whistle here shortly. There we go.
2-6. Right, coach. 2-7. 2-7.
Officials in today's game: Brendan Lahaney, Ed Malinsky, and Scott Rayburn making the calls. And you have to officiate, referee a little different in this kind of game. Got to let the players play, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you understand the players that are out here, one, are such a high caliber player, so unless it's just a blatantly obvious foul, they're going to give them a little bit more leeway. Sure. Understand they're here to really just impress and have a good time before they go off to college. But it's probably harder for the officials than the players, because they're so used to calling every little knick-knack foul.
Not a lot of time spent on extra man in practice, but had a good look there. Tried to get it into Tinney. Got knocked down. South gets it back. They're down 5. South in the light uniforms. North in the dark. South has won the last 3 Under Armour All-America games to tie the series at 4 each. Talk about schools represented, states represented. Minnesota, South Carolina had their first Under Armour men's All-Americans this year, boys. Another flag down. Got a hold.
Yeah, the North's going to get tagged for 30 seconds on a hold here. You see, he just gets it wrapped around and doesn't let go. So good opportunity for the South here to try to climb back into this one and try to get their 9th goal on a 30-second man up.
Joel Tenney taking a blow. He's had a big first half.
Yeah, you mentioned the states that have participated. So I think counting up today, we're now at 26 or 27 states that have participated in this. Incredible to see where the sport's come in just the past decade to have more than 50% of the United States covered here.
Yeah.
It'll be great to see when we have Alaska or some of these remote states that will participate. It'll be incredible for the sport.
Yeah, I think 4 California players in the game today. On the doorstep, shot and score. Nice look inside. And that cuts the lead to 13-9.
Great man up by the South here. You just see ball movement, one fake right here, and then they swing it right back down low and a finish. Not much the man down defense can do there. They actually do a pretty good job of staying tight, but watch this one skip lane right here and an absolutely perfect pinpoint feed.
Toes right on the crease there. And we've just seen our first extra man goal in the last 2 years of this game. No penalties last year. That was Horning with the goal. Charlie Horning headed to Villanova out of Georgetown Prep. Possession South. Now they got a chance to cut it to 3. And a good save. Tyler Blaisdell up to the challenge that time. Blaisdell headed to Princeton. Tough angle there, almost past the goal by the time he unloaded. Vana Feeny checking out the defense now, starts to attack. Looks like Mike Chanachuk wants to take a timeout here. So the clock stopped with 1:08 left in the first half. The North on top, 13-9.
Right? Yeah. But have that cut from that wing early. So as soon as he starts his dodge, like he starts running into it, early cut to the top. You're looking to the crease, and then if you're looking through, over. All right? And then
Mike
the attack,
Chanachuk, he was playing for Maryland, what, a month ago, 2 months ago?
Just exchange.
Now he's the coach.
All right?
Yeah, the last
So,
game Booker and I called was their
how
win,
about
and
Kirby,
he had a goal with 2 seconds left
out,
over
okay?
Cornell in the first round of
And
the
then field
NCAA
cut.
playoffs. So he is well accustomed to scoring goals in big situations, and Booker and I had the pleasure of working together on that call.
Yeah, 36 goals, 23 assists for Mike Chanachuk. His final year at Maryland helped the Terps reach the NCAA semifinals. They're ready to play. The All-American girls. Let's go down to Booker.
Hey, I got Ian Kirby here joining me. You're headed to play here at Towson. You getting comfortable out on the field tonight?
Yeah, I've been comfortable here for a long time. My dad's came here and played for a long time. I've been around since a little kid. It's been weird if I didn't come here, to be honest.
And how are you feeling as far as acclimating to the pace of play tonight?
Yeah, it's been a great game. I mean, everyone's been running fast. I mean, it's the greatest players we've been playing with so far. So, I mean, the up-tempo game, the defense is good. We keep moving the ball, transitions well. That's all it is, transition.
Great way to start your career here at Towson. Scott, back up to you.
All right, thanks. A two-time captain, Ian Kirby. First state championship for his school this year out of Massapequa Park, New York. Under a minute now left in the first half. North in possession. They're on top 13-9.
You heard Chanachuk. They're trying to move the ball across and then have a cutter wide open on the inside. Trying to just separate that South defense. They know they're tired, and they're trying to separate them a little bit and get the wide open shot.
Wraparound pass for there. From the X, that's Connor Fields. Nice look behind the back pass, behind the back shot, sails wide. There would have been a highlight.
Yeah, they were trying to make the Sports Center top 10 there between behind the back to behind the back, but unfortunately the shot has gone wide.
Back to back, behind the back, but no goal. Final seconds now. South with a chance and an open goal and a score with 3.4 seconds left. The South cuts the lead down to 3.
Starts on the defensive end. Watch the long clear, and the North actually gambles here. It's almost like a cornerback going for the interception. They miss it. Watch this pass by Otterman in the middle. Little hockey player, almost on the on a power play, dumping it down. But Booker mentioned it. Coach Kerwick is going to want to try to get him on the lacrosse field. But skills like that as a long stick. Great play by Otterman, 22, to dump it off to Charlie Horning for the finish.
Well, the North had a 9-2 lead, and the South comes back, and now it's 13-10 as we reach halftime here in the 9th Under Armour All-America game. Pretty interesting first half. We'll talk about it when we come back. We're at the half with the North up 13-10. The name Seau is familiar to football fans, as Junior Seau was one of the game's most dominant players. Let's take a look at his son, Jake Seau, and his road to becoming an Under Armour All-American.
Football was always there for me, but I never really fell in love with the sport the way he did. And I think that's just the difference, is that I was around that sport so much, and I grew up around it, that I was kind of tired of it by the time I was 16. I'd spent 16 years living, breathing, and eating football.
And when lacrosse came around, it was something that he wanted to do every day, and it wasn't like he had to drag his butt to practice and do sprints. Like, he wanted to get better, and that's something I hadn't seen from him before.
I always wanted him to play whatever his heart desired and whatever his passion was. I never, ever was the mother saying, no, you have to play football. This is in your genes. I always wanted him as a young kid to blaze his own trail. Even though Junior would love him to stay in football, I was really pleased with Jake and really proud of the progress he was making and seeing Jake's enthusiasm for the game.
For me, lacrosse was always it. I was looking forward to practice. I was looking forward to working. And I think that that's what made me realize that lacrosse was really the sport for me.
he's also a big pioneer for the West, and that kind of empowers him and drives him. He wants to pave the way for the younger guys below him.
I hope there's some opportunities out there for him to grow the game and to be a part of whatever it is. But, you know, I'm a mom. I just want to see him happy and doing what he loves to do.
I can't really see not being involved in it in the future. I think that growing the sport in the West, the ball's already rolling. It's going to progress to the point that a roster full of 10, 15 West Coast guys for some of the big-time D1s isn't going to be weird.
He's excited about his future playing Duke in the next 4 years. I said to him, number one, you're going to school to get a great education so you can be a productive person in life and enjoy these 4 years. You know, these are the last 4 years of lacrosse you may have. And he said, oh no, Mom, I'll be playing lacrosse forever.
And good luck to Jake Seau as he heads on to Duke. He featured along with Shaq Stanwix in a piece called Undeniable. You can check it out on ESPNU. A great look at these two and their roads here to being Under Armour All-Americans. Every athlete receives a commemorative medal. The Under Armour Underclass Medal Ceremony taking place. They're all from the 2015 through 2017 graduating class. 3,700 total kids registered for tryouts. Long Island boys tryouts had more than 400 sign up. The 3-day Under Armour Underclass Elite Stars tournament had 20 boys and girls teams from 10 different regions in the U.S.
Yeah, it's incredible to see, right? These are made up of 24 kids from their respective regions. They go and compete for the weekend, and they're evaluated not just by just random outsiders. It's 200 college coaches that showed up to do the evaluations, and a whopping 72 of this year's seniors, All-Americans, boys and girls, participated last year in their Under Armour underclass games.
North leads the South 13-10. We're at halftime. This is the Under Armour All-America lacrosse game. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. There were plenty of them.
It started early for the North, really. They got on top early. You know, first goal there as a defenseman, scores early. Great to see. Opened up the scoring floodgates for them. And then actually the goalies played really well in the first half. You see a save for the North. And then as well on the opposite end, Malloy and Cage for the South. He saw a lot of shots in the first half, but made a lot of saves.
Yeah, back and forth a little bit early on, but eventually South scoring right there, but the North went up 3-1. They would extend it all the way to 9-2, and they were winning a ton of face-offs,
yeah,
right?
You see here, it really starts in transition in the face-offs, and then the ability for a guy like Tinney just to turn around and fire. He played great in the first half. 2 lefty goals and 1 righty.
Yeah, there weren't a ton of, we're showing you goals here, but Owen Malloy had 12 saves, and that tied Under Armour All-America record. So there was some defense played as well, right?
Absolutely. And then here we go. Fields headed to Albany next year. Played a great first half. Could have had a couple more. Actually had a couple behind the back shots that didn't go in. And then Anderson, the Las Vegas product, going to North Carolina. He really carried the South in the first half there to help keep them in the game.
He only had 130 goals this year, right? He's just getting warmed up. 23 combined goals in the half, second highest in the event history. The second half last year had 30 combined goals, but that's a lot of first half goals after a first quarter that started a little slow. A lot of defense early on, some saves.
Yeah, very surprising here. That was the second most after the first really 7 to 12 minutes was fairly quiet. So to see them come back and then this was the remarkable play at the end. The Hail Mary pass, and then the pass inside to Otterman with a great little dump pass, and they finish.
So that's where we are, 13-10 at the half. The South trailed 9-2. They've come back to cut it to 3. What do we have here? 65 shots in the first half. That's got to be a defenseman and goalie's dream, right?
Yeah, 42 shots for the North and 12 saves by Malloy for the South, so pretty incredible.
Face-offs won. You see the big edge for the North there. 8-7, really the difference here with just a 3-goal lead for the North. We're just about set for the second half. We'll be back right after this.
The Maryland Rough Riders draw the top talent from the entire Mid-Atlantic region. They're backed by over a decade of high-level club lacrosse coaching, player development, and player recruitment assistance. Our Rough Rider alumni have excelled at every level in college lacrosse.
Playing for the Maryland Rough Riders When we got together, we always wanted to beat the top teams. We always had a chip on our shoulder. Every kid on that team could honestly say over the last 5-6 years since they've stopped playing Rough Riders that mindset of having a chip on your shoulder has helped them not only on the field but in life. So in terms of me being an under-recruited kid who got an opportunity to play Division I lacrosse, I tried to make the most of it, and I've been fortunate enough to get where I am because of that.
More to the goal, scores!
If I was a high school lacrosse player right now, I'd definitely try out the Rough Riders. It goes far beyond the lacrosse. It really helps you prepare for the next step when playing in college. As far as the practices are concerned, you're going to have those college level practices which really help you ramp up, connect with coaches, and not only that, but respect your peers and play at a high level.
Let us show you how we work to get the most out of every player through clinics, tournaments, and provide a great experience for club lacrosse players. We are the right organization for your son to become the best possible version of himself. The Rough Rider Lacrosse Club. There's a reason it's called the Rough Rider Nation.
You are watching the Under Armour All-America Lacrosse game, all part of the ESPNU Summer of Next. Well, the second quarter played even, despite the fact that the North had a 9-2 lead. South came back, scored that last-second goal, and they played to an 8-8 score in the second quarter. North with the first possession. Guess what? North won a face-off. Imagine that.
Yeah. Breaking news: they just won their 19th face-off.
I think it'd be a good. I think it'd be a good move in the future of this game to just add a face-off specialist for both teams.
It should.
It's part of the game. Yeah.
It's become such a dominant position in the college game that it'd actually be beneficial to see a Fogo play in this. And for new fans watching these All-Stars play, a Fogo's face-off get-off.
Yeah.
But those guys have actually become more and more dominant. They go down and score goals as well. So.
North in the dark, they're on top 13-10. 44 top high school seniors, all with big college plans, academically and athletically. Exciting time for these guys. They're all thinking about the next step. Honored here for the brilliant high school careers they've all had. Got a step, bouncer, and a save. Mikey Wynn with the shot.
Anderson's playing back playing defense too, so
that's why he comes up with those numbers.
Yeah,
for ground
Coach
balls,
Bressy's salivating. He could have him play D-midi, stay on, go down, play offense, come back. As Booker mentioned, he's got to wait 2 years to finish his mission trip, but I'm sure Coach Bressy's not too disappointed if he can get him in 2 years and continue to work on his skills.
He'll be physically a little stronger, yeah. South had the ground ball. It's back on the turf. Still loose.
Be a 20-year-old freshman versus a 17 or 18-year-old freshman. That extra 2 years should help him.
Talked earlier about, saw the halftime feature on Jake Seau. He's not the first son of an NFL player to play in this game. Joey Ehrman, whose dad, Joe Ehrman here, was part of those Colt teams that won 3 division titles in the mid-'70s, played in this game. And Howie Long's son as well played here. And there have been 2 Under Armour All-Americans that have gone on to play in the NFL, Will Yateman and Evan Royster. So we talk about multiple sports and how one sport can make you a better player, right?
Yeah, I
different
think
skills.
The best part about the Seau feature is not who he comes from or the pedigree and his athleticism. Honestly, you heard his mom talk about his love of the sport, and that's why he's here. All these guys love playing lacrosse. You see the guys in in All-American basketball games or football. It's the same thing. You have to have that love that separates you, the willingness to practice all day, all night, and become better. So, and if he can be a brand ambassador, take it to the West Coast. A lot of college graduates are moving to non-traditional areas: Georgia, California, Washington, Florida. If he can go back out west, it'll be a great ambassador for the game.
And the South adds another one. They're creeping back. First goal of the second half here cuts the lead to 2 at 13-11.
Great ball movement by the South, and just you see the head fake right there. Dipped his head so that the goalie thought he was going low and just finishes it high. Nice finish.
Mikey Wynn, yeah. The creeping terror from the South. Now they get a face-off. Lang gives it up in front. There's a body down. A little physical.
Nice play.
Kept it alive. Swept it back into play. Now the North.
Great play by McCormick, number 4 in dark right here. He loses the ball, but great play, intelligent play to just swing it back in from the sideline, keep the possession alive.
That'll stay North with 10:27 left in the third quarter. 9th annual Under Armour All-America game where they honor the top 44 high school players in the nation in this North-South format. So John Gelati from Inside Lacrosse downstairs, and I said, hey, you're doing a great job selecting these teams because look up and it's a 4-4 deal, pretty balanced.
Yeah, it's a 4-4 win-loss ratio in here, but then you look at how quickly these guys succeed at the next level. All Tewaaraton finalists were part of this game, national champions, you know, Tewaaraton winners from previous years. This really is a stepping stone to that next level.
Were the numbers 30, over 30 players, I think, in the NCAA round of 4, the final 4 here at M&T Bank, were all Under Armour All-Americans.
And over 10 are out playing in the World Games for different countries. Some of them are playing for foreign countries. They have lineages to those countries, but still pretty incredible. 4 of them are on the U.S. team, and then others playing overseas.
That was Joe Lang, couldn't sneak it through right on the crease. You got to see the U.S. take care of Canada right in the World Games. That's a big hurdle for them.
Yeah, and nothing like starting off with your biggest competition.
Right.
But the U.S. impressed.
North with the possession. They've got a 2-goal lead, 13-11. They led as much as 9-2 in the second quarter. Nice look in front and a shot and a score. Vana Feeny on the finish, but a beautiful pass to set up that goal.
Vana Feeny, we mentioned earlier, just finds himself in the right spot. He just slides down the backside, but what an incredible feed across the goal here. Look at that, he's covered up. I mean, stick on stick as defensively, but Vana Feeny, just a quick one-timer, adds another goal for the day.
South was on a pretty good run there. Vana Feeny's goal gets a little momentum back on the north side. Kick there, out of play, possession to the South.
I'll give that one to the South. That's 2 face-offs in a row now that they've won. They got possession quickly but turned it over, but they maintain it as the ball goes out of bounds.
Pipe. Lang just missed, hit the near pipe.
A loose ball, no possession push gives possession back to the North.
Lang backs it off a little bit now. Back behind the goal. North trying to put together back-to-back goals, something they haven't done in a while. You have to go all the way back to their 7-8 goals from Tinney and Fields when they scored 2 consecutive goals. South had the best of it in the most of the second quarter. Right into the double team, penalty marker down. Is that our third or fourth flag?
Yeah, I think you jinxed the whole game earlier.
Yeah, we didn't have a flag all last year in this game.
Yeah, unfortunately for the South, they keep coming against them, unfortunately. So as they continue to try to track back into this thing, they go man down, and last thing you want to do is get that firepower up.
Let's go down and check in with Booker.
I'm here down with Owen Malloy. Owen, you played goalie the entire first half. Tell us about your experience out there tonight.
It was a lot of fun ending my high school career here at the Under Armour game, and there's a lot of good players out there, and it's just a good time. It's a good time.
And you're headed to Notre Dame to play for Coach Kevin Corrigan, defensive coach Jerry Byrne. That defense he runs out there is solid gold. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited. It's a great group of guys, awesome coaching staff, and should be fun.
Thanks so much, Owen. Scott, back up to you.
Yeah, 12 saves in the first half. Not a bad half. With the best players in the country shooting at you, right?
Yeah, ties an event record for saves in a half, and Booker mentioned he's going to go play for Coach Byrne, who's instilled one of the best defensive schemes over the past 5 or 6 years. That's why they keep making to the Final Four in the championship. But as a goalie, it makes it so much more comfortable. You know you're going to see a limited number of shots, and the ones you do, you have a high percentage chance of saving.
South in possession, down 3, 14-11. Under 5 left in the third quarter. Go! Off the pipe. And back at you again. Wow. Tommy Height getting a workout in there. Listed 5'10", 170. You see his quickness as he darts between the pipes, right?
Yeah, great save by his best friend, the left post, and then he literally went pipe to pipe there. Pretty quick movement. Very impressive for a high school senior goalie.
Tommy Height out of Greenwich, Connecticut, and he's headed to Michigan. The Michigan Wolverines trying to put the lacrosse program on the map.
There you go. So between Hopkins, Maryland, and now Michigan, there'll be over 10 players from this game that will play in the inaugural Big Ten lacrosse conference next year.
Nice move by the pole as the North pushes it up. Just under 4 left, third quarter. Patrick McCormick with it out of Hicksville, New York. Sam Cerrone on the wing. You see much sliding here? Is this pretty much defender on shooter?
Yeah, they've stayed primarily man-to-man, and really the only spot I've seen them switch or trade on the inside is when there's a pick and they just get stuck. So.
Nice save there. William Schreiner. He's off to Penn State. Terrific save. That one will leave a mark. North back in possession. Here they come. Joe Lang charging in. South up with the ground ball. Nice flip there. A little no look, right?
Yeah, a little behind the back from a defense in for a 30-yard clear.
The extra pass and a great save. Tommy Height again saw the quickness.
Great ball movement on the offensive end, and even better save.
Not this time. South turns the corner. They snuck it underneath Tommy Height that time. And now the lead cut to 14-12.
And number 3, Charlie Horning. Watch here, just great dodge, accelerates, gets above goal line, shoots low. Height actually, I think, gets a piece of it off his leg, but just goes 5-hole. Great finish by Horning. Leaves the defenseman on the ground. Great dodge.
Charlie Horning out of Georgetown Prep, an all-Metro player of the year, football, hockey, and soccer player as well. And they'll be glad to have him at Villanova. Under 2 minutes left, third quarter. North at one point had a 9-2 lead. South has battled back. They've cut it to 2. And there's a shot in the score. Sam Vana Feeny, we've called his name a lot today. He's had a nice game.
And I think Vana Feeny heard me earlier say that he likes to be a position shooter, find himself in the opening. Takes this one, you're going to watch from up top, just dodges straight down the right-hand side and finishes on the run. Nice finish by Vana Feeny. He's really accelerated today and stood out so far.
That's 5 for Vana Feeny. Full day's work.
Princeton just lost Shriver, who went to the MLL, graduate, was an All-American middie, considered one of the top 1 or 2 middies in the country. If Vana Feeny can come in and play the way he has today, Coach Bates is going to be a very happy camper in Princeton, New Jersey.
The unforced error there as the pass sails high over Mitch Russell's head. Vana Feeny's having a big game. He's got a little ways to go. Matt Rambo last year, 8 goals in this game. He was the MVP. He lit it up.
Yeah, I'm sure Ryan Boyle, the coach of the South, is excited and disappointed also to see Vana Feeny playing this well against him, but he's hoping he can bring it to his alma mater, Princeton, next year.
Final minute of the third quarter. North with the ball. They've got a 3-goal lead at 15-12. Nothing going there as Connor Kelly turned the corner, fired with the left hand. Ooh. Did you get a piece of that? Couldn't tell. Final seconds now. South got another miracle goal in them. No, that's the way the second quarter ended, but not the third, as it sails out at midfield and time expires here at Johnny Unitas Stadium. So the nation's best high school seniors with 1 quarter left in their high school careers. It's 15-12, North on top of the South.
ESPN's coverage of the 2014 Under Armour All-American Lacrosse Game is brought to you by Under Armour.
This is the Under Armour All-America Lacrosse Game. All right, fourth quarter. Ready to roll here. North on top of the South, 15-12. North led at 1.9-2, and the South has come back to make it a pretty interesting affair here. Shot on goal and a save. That's William Schreiner. Tommy Height has made some nice saves on the other end. The extra pass and then one more, but a save. Height quick as a cat between the pipes.
Great ball movement, tic-tac-toe by the South. Unfortunately, they don't score, but what incredible ball movement. Every pass was precise and perfect.
Lee Corrigan from Corrigan Sports joins us here in the booth. Lee, congratulations, another entertaining game, and it's been a great weekend for you and all the people involved in this thing.
Yeah, it's been another great weekend. Weather's been terrific so far, and obviously the boys are putting on a show right now.
They are, yeah. It looked like the North was going to have their way, and South has battled back.
Yeah, you know, with the Boyle boys down there, they were going to come back. They know how to create some offense over there.
Hey, kind of a nice touch in this thing, too. Darby Boyle with Ryan Boyle, Mike Chanichuk, a 3-time All-American at Navy with his son Mike, helping coach the North side.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We kind of instituted that last year with my father and my uncle, having a legendary coach or figure on each sideline. And Darby Boyle, let me tell you, that guy is an unbelievable ambassador for the game, and he's officiated so many kids and coached so many kids in this area. And, of course, Mike Chanichuk, who runs the Long Island Express up in New York, is quite the figure on the island. So it was great to have him. I'm very proud of it.
Hole on goal right there, but a save again. Tommy Height's been impressive the second half. Listed at 5'10", 5'9.5" maybe. Lee, explain the selection process. How do you come up with the 44 best boys and girls players in the country?
Sure. Well, the guys from Inside Lacrosse do a terrific job with that. Jeff Shannon, Terry Foy, John Gelati, Ty Zanders, they do an awesome job. And you know what? They have done such a good job. It shows up the following 2, 3, 4 years in the collegiate level when all these guys go on to become college All-Americans and Tewaaraton Award finalists. So they're doing something right over there, I'll tell you that.
And I guess they're doing a good job because the series is tied at 4-4, too. Pretty good balance on the teams.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tonight is the rubber match.
12:25 to play, fourth quarter. The Under Armour All-America game here at Johnny Unitas Stadium on the campus of Towson University. Got a step on him. That one sails high. South retains possession. It's more than just these two big games that we see.
Yeah.
Tell the people what else is part of this whole classic. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's, you know, and it's kind of morphed over the years and evolved. And one of the great parts of the event is certainly that underclassmen tournament. 10 different regions from around the country, 10 boys and 10 girls regions. We have tryouts all over the country, and of course there's the top 24 in each region. They come to Baltimore and they brawl it out in the underclassmen games, and it's great lacrosse.
Here comes the South. Sails high, backed up. South retains possession. 11:33 left to play.
You know, Lee, outside of the underclass stuff, I know this year you guys added the JUCO group.
Yeah.
What inspired that, and what was the transition to that for y'all?
Well, we heard from some college coaches. 2 years ago, we added the uncommitted games because so many really good quality players were being cut in those various regions. And the college coaches said, we really want to see those guys again. And we say, you know what, we're going to create the uncommitted games. So this year, we listened to them again. They said, well, you guys should try to work in the JUCOs somehow. And that's exactly what we did. The 3 hotbed JUCO regions, upstate, Long Island, of course, the South here. And, you know, we had 70 coaches on the sideline watching the JUCO games last night.
Yeah, it's incredible. What people don't realize, the JUCO group really is a secondary recruiting. You get guys who go to JUCO from non-conventional lacrosse areas, or they're trying to do some academic improvement, or they just, like you said, they didn't prosper in high school, and they go to the JUCO level, succeed, and then they get picked up by a Division I school, Division II, Division III, and move on after, you know, 1-2 years potentially.
Yeah, it's very true, and it's certainly their last chance, and we're happy to give it to them. You know, they really have a great opportunity to catch some eyes, and I already talked to some college coaches today, and they said they saw a lot of talent out there last night, so they were happy to see it.
Hey, South won a face-off, and they get a chance to cut it to 1 here. Hey, last night the welcome banquet, Lee. It's inspirational every year, and you do a great job sending a message to the kids, honoring them, and also having a message for them.
Sure, I've got to tell you, that's one of our proud accomplishments there, and you see some of the footage on the screen, and we're so proud to welcome Matt Eversman, who is the inspiration of the movie Black Hawk Down, and boy, can he weave a tale there, and he does a great job talking about, you know, honor and duty as it relates to, you know, the troops and what he did for America, as well as for these kids moving to the collegiate level and then moving out in the world in their professional careers. So,
and part of the message is it's not always when things are going well. What do you do when you got a Black Hawk down?
Exactly,
right?
and that's where courage comes out, and that's what Matt will tell you.
Yeah, very good. You could have heard a pin drop when he was speaking last night. The kids were riveted.
Yeah, he does a great job, and yeah, he can hold a room. 1,500 people got real quiet.
And I hear he's got an 11-year-old lacrosse-playing daughter now, too.
Yeah, that's right. He asked if we could get her in the game.
Shot on goal. That's in the side of the goal.
Yeah, you mentioned that, right? These guys, 44 guys, and then the girls will go off to college in, you know, a matter of 4 to 6 weeks. They're going to be faced with so many life choices over the next, 4 years of their lives. And if they reflect back to a moment last night, it's going to be pretty incredible to see. And it really, we all had the opportunity to play sports because of the people who have served overseas. So to hear Matt speak last night, I'm sure really put some things in perspective for these All-Americans.
Yeah, and he made a lot of those points, and one of his major points was civility. And he feels like there's not enough civility in the world right now, and he encouraged all the kids to go out, not just in college, but in their everyday life, and be civil and considerate to people.
And the South, with a little takeaway right in front of the goal, they've cut the lead to 1.
Joe Lang comes up at the right time, fourth quarter, pulls it into a 1-goal game. What an incredible climb back by the South right now after the way the first quarter started.
They were down 9-2, 5-2 at the end of 1 and 9-2 in the second quarter. And then Anderson got it going. He scored back-to-back goals, and they've been battling ever since. Here comes the North. Shot knocked down. South wins the ground ball, and here they come with a chance to tie. Drew this up just the way you planned it, Lee.
Oh, yeah. Always close at the end. We got our people down there working the sidelines, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm looking 2011, 11-9 game. Nice game. 2012, 12-11. And then the defense went off the tracks last year. All of a sudden, it's 28-24.
Well, there was a real commitment to really create some offense.
It worked.
No doubt.
Yeah. Let's go down and check in with Booker, who's with Shaq Stanwix. Booker?
Hey, I got Shaq Stanwix on the sideline. Shaq, they did a special on you. It was really deserving. You got 7 older brothers and sisters. Talk about how you anticipate getting to Hopkins and playing last year with Wells.
I'm really excited to get to Hopkins in the fall. I know the coaching staff's going to make the right decision, so I'm just going to go in there and work my hardest and see what happens.
And you didn't mention Wells and Dory. A little something for the parents, please.
Oh yeah, they made an appearance on that the video, which was cool, and they were excited about it. I'm excited about it. It was a cool experience.
Congratulations on an amazing career. Good luck at Hopkins. Scott, back to you.
Thanks, Booker. If you didn't see the special, it's terrific, undeniable, where they profile Jake Seau and Shaq. But you see the Stanwix going out to the garage, right?
Oh, yeah.
And throwing it off the wall by the hours, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't just happen. Greatness
done.
doesn't just happen.
No, it doesn't. And the Stanwix family, I can't say enough about them. Obviously, Wells and Dory, they're doing something right at the dinner table because those kids are all really solid people. And, as lacrosse players, give me that guy who goes 2-4 every game.
Yeah.
He makes his team win.
You're right. Steele was an Under Armour All-American in 08. Covey in 11. Wells also in 11. That family's full of lacrosse greatness.
Yeah.
And he's the last one. That's the sad part, right?
That's it. I guess we're waiting for the next generation.
Now the next generation.
It's the sad part for the college coaches, but for the competition, they're actually pretty happy. They're tired of trying to defend the Stanwix.
Shaq was telling me that Sheehan just had her 4th and named the 4th one Stanwix. And I'm sure there's a stick in the hand, right?
Oh, yeah. I think I saw him. He was down on the underclass.
You mentioned it, though, the stick in your hands, you're taught as a young lacrosse player, the more it's in the hands, the better you're going to be. I just played lacrosse with my nephew for the first time at the beach last week, and that was the one advice I gave him. I said, walk around,
put it down, right?
Just walk around, always have the stick in your hands, and you will be a great lacrosse player.
Right, work on that opposite hand always. And pay the price at the wall, just like the Stanwix did.
Tanner Peck had a shot to tie it up. It sailed wide. It's a 1-goal lead for the North. South trying to tie it up right here.
Yeah, the Stanwix had their own personal wall in Yorktown, where I grew up. It was the big gymnasium wall, and right above it was all the state championship banners. So every day when you're on the wall, you saw all the guys that won it before you. So some good motivation.
Yeah, things tightening up in this game, right? Oh, like a kick save there.
Apparently the goalies didn't get the offensive man.
Tommy Hyde has been cat quick in there. He's had some real nice saves. Ouch. Here comes the South. They need a goal to tie. Pole to the goal, shot and the score. And the South has tied this up. Peter Welch out of New Jersey, Del Barton. He's headed to Duke. You got to love that one, former defender.
Absolutely. You watch Welch just sneak up here, gets the ground ball, so he gets a takeaway, a ground ball. Look at how his eyes are up the entire time surveying the field. No one's going to stop me. Underhand shot, low and away, goal. I love seeing it, but he's a Duke guy, so next year the Tar Heels are going to have to try to stop that transition a little bit better. So
you don't have to start disliking him till next year.
Exactly. That was kind of premature.
Yeah.
I like the passion now.
9-2.
Well, with Duke having 6 guys in here today, it's the entire ACC in the country is going to have their work cut out for them, in the next 4 years to continue to stop that run that they're on.
Yeah, no doubt. They are.
Big ground ball here, and South up with it. Logan Greco wins the ground ball. South trying to take their first lead of the game. It was tied at 1, and that's the last time this game was tied until now. No, that pass didn't click, and here comes the North. Not much on that shot. Good action.
Yeah, everyone's got a little bit more pep in the step here for the last 5 minutes of the game.
They could see the finish line, too.
Yeah, it's coming down to crunch time. They're trying to finish this one out.
Can you show us the script, Lee, or does that stay in your pocket? This is pretty good.
Well, we're going for an overtime win. That's all I can tell you.
Four and a half minutes left. South with the ball. Game tied at 15. They battle uphill, down 9-2. Justin Anderson cutting in front of the goal. Can't get it to him as the defense swarms. Left hand wide of the mark. Mitch Russell backs it up. Let's check in with Booker.
I got Patrick McCormick with me. Patrick, the North was up by a lot. What do you got? What do you got?
We fell asleep a little bit, but I got faith in the guys. 3 minutes left.
And now you're headed to North Carolina. How you feel about assimilating into that great program?
I'm excited. There's a ton of great players, so you have to work hard to get on the field, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
We got a great finish on hands. It's 15-all. Scott, back up to you, man.
All right, Booker. 3:44 to play. Lee, more lacrosse here tomorrow, right? If area fans want to come out?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be the playoffs for both the boys and girls underclassmen tournament. Baltimore is still in the hunt here, so all those Baltimoreans ought to come out and pull for their guys and girls.
So
and it's going to be good stuff.
So you sleep good tomorrow night, and then you get up and start working on the Baltimore Marathon? Is that what happens next?
That's exactly the plan. We get 1 day off. That's it. I told the gang.
How many participants last year in the whole deal?
We had about 27,000. We're looking
Wow.
for 30,000 this year,
Awesome.
which is just unbelievable.
We get a timeout. We will step out. 3:10 left to play in regulation. North and South tied at 15.
Let's go, hands in. Let's go.
Here we go. Come running up. I'm coming, man. Yeah, I'm coming up.
See the Stars of Tomorrow as part of the Summer of Next series on ESPNU. Tune in July 20th for Nike EYBL Finals at Beach Jam Championship. On July 27th, Adidas Super 64 Championship game. Then on August 4th, Adidas Nations. All part of the Summer of Next, only on ESPNU. Under 3 minutes left to play in regulation, as we may have a little more after that. On the doorstep, shot in the goal in the North. Back in the lead. Tyler Breen breaks the tie.
Tyler Breen trying to end it in regulation here with 2 minutes and 53 seconds left. You see a little celebration here.
That was not a selfie.
Yeah.
It's me and a lot of guys.
Great participation by the South goalie as well. I'm sure he was not too happy about letting in, but that's the type of fun stuff you see in these games, right? And these guys will remember this stuff at the next level. But great finish by Tyler Breen cutting down the middle. And here you come. They come in for the groupie, I think they call it now.
Yeah, that's a groupie, huh? Yeah. I think that should be a one-game suspension, Lee. You better crack down on this.
We're going to institute that right after this game.
Lee Corrigan, founder of this event, you've got to feel like a proud dad as you watch this thing grow, right?
Yeah, I got to tell you, the partnership with Under Armour has been unbelievable and right on time in terms of their commitment to the game of lacrosse. And, something I'm so proud about is that our event is such a great experience for the kids and the fans and everybody, and we've really set the standard.
Tommy Height with a save for the North. They're protecting a one-goal lead, a little over 2 minutes to play. Winner of this will lead the series 5 games to 4. We're all even at 4 after the South have won the last 3.
Yeah, this game has been the marquee brand. Every sport has their marquee that you look at on college athletes. When we call all the college games throughout the year on ESPN's networks, you're always referring to this guy was an Under Armour All-American, this guy was. That's really that marquee name on their resume.
And that was exactly the thought behind it. When I kind of started dreaming this up, of course, it was a duplication of what McDonald's does for college basketball. And I said, well, lacrosse doesn't really have one. Let's create one. And Under Armour jumped on board, and it's just been, I thought it would take a couple of years for it to really take. It took about 2 weeks, I think.
Here comes the South. Brendan Collins, shot and score. He rips it, and the game tied with 1:32 left.
Yep, that's what it says right here. 1:32. South will tie it up.
You got the script.
Number 17, Collins. Watch the queer here. Just takes off on a horse. This is an absolute missile from about 13 yards out. Just steps, plants, righty overhand. Not a chance for the defense, but just a missile from 13 yards.
Stephen played in this game before it was this game, and he said it was a nice honor, but it wasn't this game, obviously, right?
Yeah, I think we played at UMass, which was great, but I think we got a reversible jersey just so you knew which color team you were on. But, I mean, you look at these uniforms, these guys are decked out head to toe in the latest from Under Armour, Cascade. The equipment, the apparel, it's great. The scenery, the camaraderie is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it set the standard. Like I said, it's been terrific.
Oh, North with an opportunity, but William Schreiner slammed the door. We might have our first overtime game, Lee.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Well, let me check.
Get back in your pocket. Check the script. We're under a minute. We're tied at 16.
If it's up to Chanachuk, he's going to pull what he did against Cornell in the first round and score 2 seconds left to deflate everybody.
We getting a timeout here, Stephen, or are they going to let him play?
I think Boyle's going to let him go once here, probably get it down to maybe 20 seconds, and then burn a timeout.
A little patience here, 35 seconds left. A step there, shot down low to save. Tommy Hype, North goalie with the save.
This would be something, a goalie, if you can get the winner.
That would have been a well-scripted end, Lee Corrigan.
What happened? These kids are just executed.
7-6. We're heading for overtime as the final seconds tick down. So for the first time in the history of the Under Armour All-America game, we've got overtime. Some of the fans here at Johnny Unitas Stadium appreciate these guys. Now, do you think the players are happy there's overtime? I mean, I know they want to win the game, but you might want to get it down in 4, right? It's been a long weekend.
Yeah, after 4 quarters of back and forth, I'm sure they're ready for it to be over. But at this point, they've committed so much, they want the win. So
let's check down with Booker.
Hey, I got Brendan Collins, guy who just scored the goal that sent the first Under Armour game to overtime. What's going through your mind as you're coming down the field with that ball?
That if I don't score, then I'm probably going to throw up on the middle of the field. So, I mean, it was a great pass, a great outlet, and I pumped the point, and then I stuck it, and couldn't be happier and exhausted.
And when you say pump the point, what do you just sky whammy to the point guy?
Sky whammy to the point guy, and then I stuck it high.
And you felt good when you saw that net ripple, right?
I couldn't feel better in that moment right there.
Congratulations, Scott. Back up to you guys. We got overtime.
It sounds like Brendan's tank's on empty, like a lot of these young guys, right? He's been here before, part of your underclassmen game, like most of these guys, right? It's not their first trip. Yeah,
awful lot of these guys have been participating with us for a couple years now. They made their respective regions underclassmen teams, and they've been with us, and obviously all well-deserving.
See the Stars of Tomorrow as part of the Summer of Next series on ESPNU. Tune in July 20th for Nike EYBL Finals at Peach Jam Championship. On July 27th, Adidas Super 64 Championship game. Then on August 4th, Adidas Nations. All part of the Summer of Next, only on ESPNU. You know the deal, Lee, Steven's got a 1-year-old, and he said he could use a little extra jingle, so he knows he gets paid extra for these overtime games. That was part of the script. There's some of your MVPs. Matt Rambo, we talked about him, a record 8 goals last year in this game.
Yeah, last year was just silly with all those goals, and Rambo went nuts with 8 of them.
High school lacrosse career. But when the kid touches the ball, he scores goals. Say hello to Matt Rambo. Look at the spin move. As Rambo steps in, sticks it.
Awesome. That was a good time.
Matt Rambo is just taking over.
Capping a historic year for the University of Maryland. Matt Rambo.
That's Vana Feeny facing off for the North. It'll be a 17-16 game. We're tied at 16. Next goal wins. Big ground ball, and the North up with it. Ground ball to remember for Logan Greco. Plays college lacrosse at Virginia. Where are you going here, Stephen? Once you clear, and they don't clear, Joel Tenney.
Good opportunity to push in transition.
Joe Lang picked it off for the South. A little unsettled here.
South's got a trailer coming in.
Left-hander bounced over the goal. Joe Reed. Heavy traffic shot and the score. It's over. South wins.
That's right.
Exactly. Mikey Wynn.
What a great kid.
What a great game. Down 9-2. The South with that I will attitude, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Come battling back. And congratulations to the All-Americans from both the North and South. They gave us a good show, Stephen.
Yeah, it was a great game the entire way through. A lot of effort from both teams. You see the replay here. Just steps in, dodges one, and then dumps in, and a little celebration for the fans at home.
There he goes. Lee taught him that. I saw Lee working at lunchtime yesterday with him on that move. But Lee threw his back out when he was teaching.
I've been limping since.
So Mikey Wynn with the game winner. 17-16 the final. Mikey Wynn will be taking his game to Notre Dame, but what a way to finish your high school career with an overtime goal in the Under Armour All-America game.
Yeah, you could tell the guys had a ton of fun just throughout the game. No one ever gave up, and then the South comes back to win. You can see even the coaches, Ryan Boyle, Matt Strebel, and Ryan Boyle's dad, excited to get the win as well.
All right, a great game. We'll be back to wrap it up here at Johnny Unitas Stadium. South over the North, 17-16. It took overtime to decide this one. (17-16) South over the North in overtime. Booker Corrigan standing by with a happy and tired lacrosse player.
A happy, tired lacrosse player and the MVP of today's Under Armour senior game. Mikey Wynn. Mikey, take us through the overtime game winner.
North was a great team. I mean, we were lucky to force that to overtime. There were a bunch of great guys over there, but just kept on playing, and at the end, Shaq made a great look to me. I just got the angles right, and I was able to finish it on Tommy Height, who's a great keeper. He got me a ton of times earlier, who shut me down, so it was finally good to get one on him.
And you're headed to Notre Dame to play your college ball. How excited are you to try to get in with Tommy Cavanaugh?
I'm so pumped. I mean, that coaching staff over there and that attack unit, that would be amazing to play with. I mean, I got to go in and work hard. It's nothing said and done, but it would be awesome to play with those guys.
Mikey Wynn, this year's overtime game winner and game MVP. Congratulations, Mike. Great career at St. Paul's, and now off to Notre Dame. Scotty, back up to you, man.
See, he's a lot more humble than I am. I'd get to Notre Dame, and I'd carry that thing around for about the first month on campus, and everybody would say, what's that? Well, here, want to see the highlight? I'd have it on my phone. What a way for him to end his high school career.
Yeah, an incredible way to end, for all these guys, all 44 guys. They now close the chapter on their high school career and move on to the Division I ranks. And, these guys are going to have an incredible time. All these guys are going to be successful for what you saw today, and it's going to be fun to watch for the next 4 years.
Lee, you probably feel like they're your children, right, as you watch them go on and be college All-Americans and award winners and get drafted in the first few picks of the MLL draft. Right?
Yeah, it's always great to see, and I do follow them, and it's great to see them accomplish great things at the next level, and even we've had Tewaaraton Award winners. It's been a great event. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to ESPN. Thanks to Under Armour for all their support. Can't tell you how proud of the event we are.
Great day. South beats the North. The final score here from Johnny Unitas Stadium, 17-16. South has now won 4 straight. They lead the series 5-4. Coming up next, the FIL World Lacrosse Championships, Australia versus United States.